here, folks. Just give us a second. Camera issue. Oh, what's going on? Worked a second ago. What's going on? Okay, just a second, folks. There we go. Sorry about that. Hope you're having a good day today so far. It's Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021. Welcome to the show. This is Comic Reviews for Quoth Raven, Lewis Brightraven. I'm your host, Lewis Brightraven, 28-year veteran writer, illustrator, and editor of comic, science fiction, fantasy, horror, and role-playing games. And I thought everything was set up right. It's not. Not crazy today. Oh, well. All right. Okay, there we go. So, anyway, been kind of a weird day. But we got a few books to review, so let's go ahead and get straight to it. Our first book is GRISTLE trade paperback. Publisher Shortbox UK. Creator is Lily Blakely. The genre is horror. It was released October 21st. I received it on November 12th through my Kickstarter order from Shortbox. What it's about. A horrific, creepy tale about a paranoid, isolated young woman and a mysterious fleshy plant. Confined to her home, Olive finds a strange pink fungal plant while out on one of her walks. Deciding to bring it back home with her, she is increasingly drawn to it, at times comforted by it, and at times repulsed by it. Odd things begin happening, but are they a product of Olive's feverish building cabin fever, or is it something more sinister that's going on? What do I think about it? This is a trippy horror comic. Blakely does a really nice job with pacing of the story, as Olive has this on and off relationship with the plant while her boyfriend basically dumped her for another person, and she's going somewhat mad over the whole thing because the plant seems to be able to use her cell phone and talk with her boyfriend on the phone and other people, but never directly speaks to her. And there are some other moments in the story where you kind of wonder if everything's all just some sort of hallucinations in her head. But the wild part of the story comes at the very end, which takes it in a wholly different direction, so to speak. And I don't want to say exactly what happens because I don't want to spoil it for you. It has a sort of Outer Limits meets Little Shop of Horrors meets Invasion of the Body Snatchers feel to it. And it finishes strong with a sense of dread, not just for Olive, but for the whole world. While I think I did prefer another of the Shortbox titles that I reviewed yesterday, specifically I See a Night, just slightly better than this book, I think this is another fine example of how Shortbox finds some really excellent materials that otherwise would be getting passed over and unseen by readers. This could have easily been a Fantagraphics title in the US and would probably have been overlooked by audiences even if it had been, unfortunately, but it really is a quality book. Recommended for ages 16 and up. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Here's the book. A little bit thick type book there. Do I upside down? Yeah, I do. Okay, there you go. So it's a pretty thick book. It's mostly black and white with just a little bit of color for the pink fleshy thing. Looks like a pair of deformed lips a little bit. The art's pretty nice. See the chapter 1. She's having kind of like nightmares and trying to get rid of it, but she can't get rid of it. Each one of the chapters starts with the plant being drawn in a little bit further, and it gets in color near the end of the pinkish stuff going on. She put the plant in the freezer because she thought it was overheating, and apparently the plant screamed or something, or she thinks it screamed. So she pulled it out, and she's all, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you." She gets angry with the plant, tears it up, cooks it, eats it, consumes it, basically. And there's the plant fully grown out with the petals extended and everything. And again, I don't want to tell you exactly what happens at the end, but it's pretty wild. So again, 4 out of 5 stars for GRISTLE. Our next book is Moving by Louis Yang, also by publisher Shortbox UK. Genre is slice of life. Released October 21st. Again, received November 12th. It's about 2 women prepared to move from their house. But as the day dawns and the removal carriers come and go, they find themselves unable to leave. An evocative internal reflection on things that we hold on to and the point at which they begin to hold us back. At first, I thought it was a couple. Then I realized it was a mother and a daughter, and the daughter needs to move out and grow and move on while the mother's trying to cling on to the house and the memories that she built and can't let go. I wish that had been a little bit more clear if that is what they intended, but that's what I got out of the book. The story is interesting in that the creator never really spells out what's keeping the duo stuck in the place, because the reality is, it seems to me that only one of them is really stuck, and the lack of communication with her own desperation to fix what cannot be fixed ultimately drives the daughter away, or at least that's the relationship I got out of the story. They just didn't strike me as a couple, and other aspects of the story inferred to me a mother-daughter relationship. The artwork's okay. It did not particularly grab me stylistically, but I wasn't bothered by it. The style is sort of in the same vein as Craig Thompson, who does Ginseng Roots, but it's not as well refined as Craig Thompson. Louis Yang has a bit more seasoning artistically to go, I think, but it's not a poor effort on their part either. I recommend it for ages 16 and up, and I give it 3 out of 5 stars. And I was looking for the book, and apparently it is not right at hand. I thought it was. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Here's the book. It's cut a little bit different size. I'll have my ruler right handy, apparently, but it's a little bit smaller size cut format. It'll black and white with some minor coloring in it. Stylistically, again, a little bit simplistic, so to speak, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, I could see a little bit of the Craig Thompson type style in it. They just need to refine their craft a little bit more. This is still not a bad work, though. Like these two panels could have been a little bit more than just shapes and crosshatch. There could have been more to it than that. Especially when you get later in the book and you see that they can draw that fairly well, and draw like that. So, you can see that there's, kind of an interesting inconsistency, I should say, in the person's art. But, I see a lot of potential in their work, and I can see them growing into something really nice. And the story overall is pretty good. So, again, 3 out of 5. Alrighty. And our last book for today is Squad. It's hardcover from $21.99. Publisher is Greenwillow Books, Harper Collins. The writer is Maggie Tokuda-Hall, with art by Lisa Sterle. It's a YA horror comedy drama. It was released just this past October 5th. I think there is a softcover available for $12.99 as well, but this is the hardcover edition. And what it's about: when Becca transfers to a high school in an elite San Francisco suburb, she's worried that she's not going to fit in. To her surprise, however, she's immediately adopted by the most popular girls in school. At first glance, Marley, Ariana, and Mandy are perfect. But at a party under a full moon, Becca learns that they also have a big secret. Her new friends are werewolves. Their prey, slimy boys who take advantage of unsuspecting girls. Eager to be accepted, Becca allows her friends to turn her into a werewolf as well, and finally, for the first time in her life, she feels like she truly belongs somewhere in life. But all is not well, nor what it appears to be. When Ariana's predatory boyfriend is killed, the police investigation heightens. The tensions on the girls and their pack. As the cops begin searching for a serial killer, their pack begins to buckle under the pressure, and their moral high ground gets muddier and muddier as Becca realizes that she might have feelings for one of her new best friends. What do I think? Well, it's pulling tropes from all kinds of popular cultural films and TV shows, ranging from the lesbian sister werewolf cult classic Ginger Snaps to MTV's Teen Wolf drama series to Mean Girls and Pretty Little Liars. The writer goes hard on attacking so-called toxic masculinity, and it has some LGBTQ drama, so it's definitely going to turn the noses of the anti-alphabet fanboy crowd, if you know what I'm talking about when I say the anti-alphabet fanboys. But if you're a fan of the properties I just mentioned, or of movies like Heathers, I think that it has just the right amount of 1980s, early 1990s flavor to that kind of teen horror comedy, that dark satire. That having been said, the book doesn't really cover any new ground within that genre either. And I wouldn't say that this book is as good as any of those films or TV shows are. However, I could see this book as something that if it got picked up by the right producers and writers, it could be developed into something as strong as that content in the film and television arena. As for the artwork, it's okay. Lisa Sterle gives the story, she serves the story well enough visually. I think I just would have preferred a darker, grungier style for the story, I think. If this book had been published by Archie as a new book connected to their darker Sabrina the Teenage Witch comic of recent vintage, I wouldn't have batted an eye that it came from Archie. And I'm not sure that that's a good thing. So far as the writing goes, again, we've been there, we've done this. There's a bit too much targeting and mocking of both the woke community and toxic masculinity vibe that's going on in the book. The writer tries very hard to show how messed up both sides are in their beliefs, particularly when they skew hard to one side or the other. She tries probably a little bit too hard. For a 224-page book, it is a somewhat breezy read. I burned through it in under 2 hours. Should have been able to have a little bit more time with it than that, but it read really quick. I won't give away the plot of who's killing whom and what's going on. I'd rather that you all check it out and decide for yourselves whether you like it. As for myself, I'm slightly meh about it because, again, I've seen this type of story so often, and I've seen it done better often in the aforementioned movies that I've mentioned. But like I said earlier, I also do see the potential for it to be taken up to that level of quality if it got adapted to film or television. So there is a foundation of quality in the story that's there, and I think it's worth checking out. Personally, I would recommend the book for 16 up, but I've heard that it's meant for 14 and up. I just feel like with the LGBTQ stuff and some of the other things going on, and it skews just a little bit older than 14 and up. But that's just me. I give it a rating of 3.5 stars, and let's take a look at some of that artwork. Now, this is not very good scans that came off of the internet. There's not the graininess that you might be seeing in the scan here is not in the book itself. At least it wasn't in the copy that I got, the hardcover. It might be grainy in the soft cover edition, might be different paper stock. And Becca's the one with the pink coat with the fringes and eating the sandwich. And the other three, the one in the pink outfit is Ariana. I'm not exactly sure why she has her face covered like that in that one panel, but the one with the lollipop is Mandy, and shoot, I forgot the name of the other one. The black girl. My apologies. But it's interesting. You know, there's a few minor inconsistencies. Like, okay, she's got the sucker in her hand in this panel. Not there, not there, not there. Now it's there, but it's not the same color. Little things like that made me knock the score down a little bit. And for whatever reason, Thatcher, who is the swarmy boyfriend of Ariana, makes a comment about her jacket, which actually is kind of a cool, white leather fringe jacket. Oh, nice jacket, type thing. So she actually just throws her jacket away and doesn't even, when someone says, hey, you forgot your jacket, oh, it's not mine. I thought that was kind of a weird thing because it's like several $100 jacket, probably. It's not mine. Just let it lay there. Someone else can have it. Kind of a weird thing going on there, but it is what it is. And then here's where they start transforming. Is the werewolves, and it just so happens that this guy's hitting on a girl and she doesn't want him, and she's like, hey, don't be a bitch about it. And I do wish they had colored the moon yellow here a little bit, because it kind of confuses with the word balloon. Is this a word balloon like right next to it? Is it something that the black girl's going to say something or not? But it's, so I would have colored that a little bit. I would have colored that yellow just to kind of, or maybe a light blue or something to signify that it's the moon a little more clearly. But the artwork is okay overall. And that's pretty much our review show for today. So I'll be back tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, probably around 11 or noon, to do a shorter, maybe an hour and a half live draw show. Not sure exactly what the theme will be. Today we did Disney. Please check our archives for that. I did 5 pieces, I think, 4 or 5 pieces. Did Goofy, Ariel, Stitch, Mushu from Mulan, and Jiminy Cricket. So 5 pieces in 3 hours. So, but I don't have that kind of time for tomorrow because I have to go out and grab some stuff before Thanksgiving. So maybe about an hour and a half tomorrow. And then we will not have a show on Thursday because of Thanksgiving. And then Friday, I'll be back with either a live draw session or maybe a mini Black Friday type stuff to sell some artwork, but not the artwork I've been doing recently. It's going to be some of the older stuff. And then Saturday, we will do another live draw, and we'll have movie night, and we'll be discussing probably 2 horror movies. I don't know, maybe 1. We'll see when I have time to watch. But anyway, that's the week moving forward. So if you enjoy our show, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to continue to get content from my channel. As always, I thank you for watching and for your support. If you have questions or comments, you can always reach out to me on social media: Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, at Twitter at LewisBrightRave2. You can see more of my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven, exclusively on YouTube. If you have other questions or comments that you don't want to try on social media, you want to email me, maybe you want to commission artwork, maybe you want to send me something that's it's too long for a tweet or something like that, Quoth the Raven LBR72@gmail.com is the primary address to reach me at. And if you don't reach me there, I'll get back to you within a day or 2. Try LewisBrightRaven@yahoo.com. Now remember, this is Thanksgiving, so please give me until Monday for the holiday weekend. That's all for now, folks. We'll see you next time. And that'll be tomorrow around 11 or noon p.m. 11 a.m. or noon. So until then, have a safe evening, and we'll see you next time.